Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on here, Joe. I just really want to kind of reach out to contractors and kind of feel for what they're doing in their business. It's kind of a crazy time for everyone right now. So
Yeah,
looking,
yeah, it's very uncertain.
yeah, absolutely. So we're just kind of looking to spotlight a few contractors, talk about things that they're doing in their business and successes and struggles, and then kind of put it out there on the internet, get some traffic to it, and kind of go from there.
Definitely.
So tell me a bit about yourself. Tell me a bit about what you do, and kind of bring everybody who's listening up to date on where you are in business.
Let's see, man. My name is Joe Hagan. I started St. Louis Sealers last. Let's see, I was fired on July 2nd. Technically, we launched in June. I guess my boss had found out that I bought a seal coat tank.
Gotcha.
So I mean, a lot of people get started that way. He thought I was stealing clients, but I wasn't doing that. He was definitely a boomer. Didn't know how to use the internet. I would use Facebook to find my clients, and I never went after his, but whatever. Here or there, I worked my ass off, man, and I swear I've never put so much of my heart and soul into one thing. And I had two young children. I'm 33. I wanted to be successful in life. I kind of partied too much in my early 20s. So I was always at these like dead end jobs, and I said, you know what, enough is enough, and put my foot down, and I just started walking out that front door. That was my motto. If I walk out this door, I will make money.
That's
And
awesome.
we had a great, yeah, it turned out great. We had a good first season. We met some really good clients. We did good work. We kind of lowballed ourselves at first. That was a struggle to figure out our price margin. But over time, as we got better and more confident, and I say we because my wife is definitely a part of this.
Sure.
She's amazing. She does everything behind the scenes. She does all the paperwork, all the computer stuff. I'm a people person. I like to go out. I like to shake hands, and that we can just launch right into what's going on right now. The whole shaking hands thing, like that has my business. Man, like I always say, like you can make or break a deal just by a handshake, and
Absolutely.
I was terrified about, I don't know, I guess it hit me maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. I realized that my breakout season was not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And we had been preparing all winter. Like we acquired a snowplow and a route, and we were fortunate enough to survive. A lot of companies don't make it through that first big winter break because we really didn't make any money last year. Everything went right back into the company.
Sure.
And we didn't do anything on credit. Everything was out of pocket. And I'm not gonna lie, like I had these Chinese nationals, and they were over here investing in property, and they were my clients, and I had about $75,000 worth of contracts I brought over to his house to have signed.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're sitting down, we're eating lunch. We actually became pretty good friends over the last maybe 6 months, and he tells me that he spoke to his father, and at this point in time, it was just a bad time to do business.
Right. Oh, so this was recently.
This was 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, because I mean, my winter and everything that happened last year, that's just the beginning of a business. You got to work hard. I was putting in 70-hour weeks, but nobody wants to hear about that. That's just something you have to do.
That's the grind, right?
Yeah. I don't even want to talk about that. We're established now, and that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Happy. We work hard. So let's backtrack to 3 weeks ago. And I had been following this virus since about December, late December. It kind of came up on my news feed, and I was watching doctors. Not so much. I'm not casting any blame. I mean, if anybody's hurt out of all this, it's the civil rights of the Chinese people. They deserve better. Education. This probably wouldn't happen if they knew not to sell dead animals or exotic animals.
Sure.
So I'm in this meeting, and he tells me that his father would advise him, and I'm guessing that might have been his backer, to forego all contracts, pretty much bunker down, get ready for the worst. He's like, this thing, you know, Donald Trump is not telling the truth. You're like, you are not hearing the facts. Even the numbers out of China were questionable. And so at that point, you know, I knew something was coming. And I pretty much, from that point, I went straight to the grocery store. And the good American that I am, you know, I bought my ammunition. It's like the Wild Wild West over here. But,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, and I got my water. And I went and got like hobby stuff because I knew watching what happened in China, the only way to stop this thing was isolation.
Sure.
So my family and I, we have been isolated for about 14 to 16 days now.
Yep.
I have left the house, and I have decided up until probably like 3 or 4 days ago, I'm not gonna lie, I was terrified. I thought, like, you know, the sky was falling, just like I'm sure everybody else when they get hit in the face with the realization that nothing will ever be the same again.
Sure.
At first, I was so angry. I thought, like, why now? You know, like, I finally, my whole life, like, I really didn't really work hard like I had. And it's like, man, why just happened to me? And it took me maybe like 12 hours of that woe is me, and I kind of snapped out of it. I'm just like, this is happening to everybody.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just me. It happened to you. It happened to my friends. It happened to literally everybody around the world. Like, none of us have ever experienced this. Nobody alive has ever experienced this. I mean, this is astronomical.
Whole different animal for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, what do? You know, you hope and pray for the best. You hope that your elected leaders will do what they're supposed to do. And
yeah. So talk to me a bit about how your business relates to this. Do you think that there's a silver lining here for you? Do you have a plan kind of going forward?
It's kind of, yeah, that's definitely what I was getting at, man. It was more of a mindset. You know, my whole plan from the beginning was PMA, positive mental attitude, and whatever you put out into the universe will come back to you. So I remember feeling guilty once I found out that I technically was an essential business because I'm construction. You know, asphalt work, you know, I wouldn't really consider it essential. My sister's a nurse, you know, she's definitely on the front lines.
Sure.
And I felt really guilty, so I kind of like made a post on Facebook. I was like, hey guys, like, I feel like it's my civil duty to just not be scared. I've been taking the proper precautions, washing my hands, all that. And I decided at that point on that I was going to start marketing again, and I was going to start pursuing these people that, like, okay, I lost my biggest clients, but the season's not over. You know, the season's just begun. Like, the season barely has even started. So, you know, I've been hitting the marketing really hard, and it still amazes me that, especially the people that were trying to protect people over 60, like, they want to shake my hand, they want to come up and get close in my bubble, and I'm just like, hey, back up.
Yeah.
So, you know what, man? Like, I decided that it was my civil duty. I had to go out there and I had to provide jobs. I had to go out there and spend money in my community. You know, there's still restaurants that are doing takeout, and that's important. You know, those people, they have families too. And so I put something out there offering pretty much 50% off to anybody in the medical field, 35% off to any small business owner or restaurant owner. And the feedback from the people have been incredible. I haven't even talked to one restaurant owner or one medical personnel because they're too busy.
Right.
And I now come out, like, today alone, I got a good like 15 to 20 leads just through Facebook. Yeah, man, it's business is booming. Like, people, what it comes down to, I think, in this time of stress is money makes you feel good when you spend it.
Yep.
It makes you feel bad. But,
well, and people are. Go ahead.
No, you go.
Well, people are sitting at home and they're looking at their cracked driveway or their things around their house that they need fixed, right? And they're looking for people to fix it, and they're like, well, we have all this free time, right? So we may as well get these jobs done. So I love kind of the mental shift that you had there. I think that's super important as a business owner to kind of stay nimble and to be able to take advantage of the situation without taking advantage of others, but take advantage of the situation and kind of adapt. I love that.
Definitely, man. You have to be able to adapt, especially, you know, we're young. Like I said, I'm only 33. You know, I have my whole life to live. I've got 2 little girls under 4, and I got to provide for them. Like when I was first scared, I was shell shocked. I was sitting at home like, oh, the government, they're going to send us money.
Yeah.
What's that money going to do? Nothing.
Right.
And so I figured me being out there in society, people seeing my truck, people seeing my crew. I'm going to give my crew masks.
Yep.
I'm a welder by trade, so I kind of have a source on where to find masks.
Sure. Yeah.
I've definitely given my sister some. She's a nurse, but
Yeah.
it's not that selfish. I only hold on to like maybe 20 of them at a time. But
Yep.
I'm showing these people that we're taking the precautions for not shaking hands. Boomers
Absolutely.
hate that, and I hate. I hope that's not derogatory using that term. But anybody over the age of 60, they want to shake your hand. It's like, hey
Sure.
man, like we're here to continue working. I'm here for my brothers that provide for me. They put a roof over my head and put food on my table. Now I owe them, and I
Yep.
need to show confidence, and I can't show fear. Because
I
as
love
soon
it.
as you give into fear, it's done. And I was not going to go down, and until they knock on my door and they tell me you cannot go out anymore, I'm going to do my best to stop the spread by, watching. It's almost like watching your carbon footprint, watch your coronavirus footprint. You got to be
Exactly.
careful. You got to look out for others. Like I don't go to gas stations inside. If I need something to eat or drink, I'll bring it with me.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's gotten in the habit of washing their goods as soon as they get home.
No, exactly.
Like, we can't. We're gonna get to a point where we're all sitting inside, and the government's gonna want us to go work. After like a month of isolation, people are gonna be like, all right, come on, man. Like I got to do something. People are gonna get cabin fever. They're gonna see all these deaths, and they're gonna wonder like, well, it's gonna get me anyways. I mean, it's terrifying if you read like what this thing really does to you. And I'm a smoker, so man, like, I'd be screwed probably.
Yeah, you got to be careful. Yep.
Yeah. But like I keep saying, it's definitely a civil duty, I think, to small business owners not to sit there and roll over, but to find another way. I mean, my brother-in-law, he lost everything, man. He sold industrial coatings, whatever that means. It's paint.
Yep.
And he lost everything, and he was sitting there, and I even offered him a sales job because we are in our breakout season. I can't handle 20 leads in a day.
Right.
And he laughed at me.
Yeah. Talk to me a bit about what you are doing to bring in leads for the season, and I know you said you're looking at doing Facebook right now.
Yeah, I do a lot of Facebook marketing. Every job that I've had up to this point, we got kind of an early spring was all referrals, which was honoring. That felt or humbling, really. Like that was cool. And now, I'm just out there, and we are established, so we have a story or a footprint on the internet, and I put out ads on Facebook. I don't ever pay for my ads. I kind of got to get crafty with Facebook Marketplace, Like the one I put out today, I said that I was selling 5 gallons of sealer and 1 ton of asphalt. And then I said in the description that I will deliver this product to you, and I can connect you with a guy who will spread it. And I just put a little wink emoji, that's me.
I like it.
Oh yeah, you got to get creative. You got to figure out a way to beat Facebook's algorithms, and not like they're there to knock you down, but obviously they're a corporation as well. They want to make money.
Yep.
And honestly, every ad that I've paid for Facebook, I haven't gotten a single lead off of.
Gotcha.
Which is depressing. I learned that one right away. And
I mean,
you got to put yourself out there.
Sure. Yeah, there's definitely some tricks to making sure that those work if you're going to get your money's worth back from them.
For sure. And some other advice for people out there that are struggling, right away, drop your price. So it'll look like, you're an active seller. Don't put a condition like a description is new or used or anything like that. Do your best to make it look like you're just selling an item, not a service.
Sure.
And, you'll get leads. Right? And also, 3 a.m. That's what time I host them. So I get, I'm not playing, man. Like, they will flag some of them, and I'll put probably 4 or 5 ads out there on Marketplace. And I do it probably twice a week. And I get anywhere from, like today was lucky. I got over 15. I know that for a fact. And Usually I get about 10. But
Yep.
yeah, just flood the internet, like there's chances for us to make money, and our generation, that's what we do. Like I say, I'm not tech savvy, but maybe I just don't have the patience,
You're
and
just working at a different angle for sure.
yeah. And like if you don't mind, I'm going to talk about a friend of mine who I finally have encouraged him to stop saying "woe is me."
Hmm.
He has an Etsy company, and he was just he's same as me. He was about to take off. He was gonna make it, and then
Yep.
all of a sudden, this thing happens, and nobody's spending money. And I look at him and go, "You're not doing it right, bro. Like you have to engage the people. You have to make them feel warm and cuddly because everyone's scared right now.
Hmm.
And people do have money. Like there are some people less fortunate than us, and they're not gonna be able to spend that money, but." For him, he would use Facebook demographics, and he would target his audience, and he would find somebody to buy his. He makes crayons. He melts them down and turns them into letters for kids.
Oh, cool.
Especially kids right now, they're more vulnerable than anybody because, like my
Well, they're
4-year-old,
looking for
the
something
first.
to do too.
Yeah, exactly. And you got to keep them. You got to keep that stimulus going. And one cool thing, speaking of kids, is like my daughter's finally connected. I got a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. And
Yeah.
after about 3 weeks of isolation, like they play together now. It's pretty neat. And
That's
that's
awesome.
where he would, if I had an online company, say Etsy, and sales are down because people, they play too much, they put too much thought into the stock market, stuff like that. When really we're at this changing of times when you might not see very many brick and mortar shops anymore, and that might affect my industry a little bit. But I'll find a way.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I told him, like, man, you got to get out there and you got to give hope to the people. And yeah, we're out there, we're trying to make money for ourselves, and we're trying not to be too selfish. Like, don't price gouge, don't do anything like that. Like I said, I gave any medical worker practically the price of labor for free, and then
Sure.
all they have to do is just pay for the material, and that alone, like I said, they don't have time. It's sad, but people see that and they're like, oh, this guy wants to help the community, and
Sure.
he's talking about his employees. Like, we can't let this government feed fear into us, and B, tell us that when it's going to be over. Like the people are going to decide that, and we're going to be the ones that jumpstart this economy. It's going to take little guys. Like I don't know what you do for a living. I never asked.
Yeah. No, I
But
mean, I basically help contractors with getting leads
okay,
and do that sort of thing. So
cool,
all
man. Very
different
cool.
types of contractors around North America. So I'm always interested to learn different things about the industries, and I love the attitude of being flexible and being able to adapt. That's basically the name of the game for sure.
I mean, that's how we've made it through however many years we've been on this planet. We've
Exactly.
always adapted. We've always figured out a way to chip stone differently to make whatever tool. And
Yep.
here we
Yep.
are. Like I've had to learn how to adapt. Like I swore off smartphones until I started a company. I'm like, oh, I
There
better
you go.
get with the times. So I can't be a bum anymore.
Yeah.
And you got to connect with people, and that's the cool thing that's happening right now. Like you can look at a lot of negatives, or you can look at the fact that 25% of the air pollution, CO2, is down 25%.
Sure.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And I hopefully 18 months from now, 2 years from now, people will wake up and realize, hey, people need to be educated. They have to know how to wash their hands. They have to know what's good food to eat. They have to be responsible for their actions. And B, you cannot rely on your government to protect you. You cannot rely on anybody but yourself to bring in an income, even to educate yourself. Like over the winter, I went to YouTube University.
Yep.
I decided that I was done not knowing anything, and I was going to take on new activities. And if you're stuck at home, that would be my best advice to you: is try something new,
Absolutely.
and don't be afraid to fail. Because at the end of the day, like we are all human, and just the way people have been coming together, I've never seen Facebook so positive in my life. It's
Yeah.
kind of neat. Nobody's
Absolutely.
hating on anybody.
I love it. I love it.
It
So
is.
talk to me a bit about your goals for the business and how big you want to get, kind of your markers. I know this is throwing a little bit of a curveball into your plans
Oh,
probably, but where do you
oh
hope to go with
yeah.
this?
My goal has always been to be the top 5 company in the St. Louis metro area.
I love it.
And I even I encourage all my friends who are entrepreneurs to set big goals because I never did that until I started this company.
Yep.
I don't know where it happened along the line, but I just had this different mindset. And honestly, my main goal is I'm going to set up in a warmer territory. I'll keep the St. Louis division, but why not steel coat and lay asphalt year round?
Sure.
Maybe move to Phoenix, Flagstaff, or maybe not Flagstaff, but Los Galos, go somewhere in Arizona or New Mexico, and I'm gonna go take over the competition there. Because honestly, it's the day I got fired, I had this vendetta against the industry that I was not. You were not gonna put me down. Like I will rise up no matter what it takes. I got a wife at home crying. I got a kid who's 1 and a kid who's 3. It's like I'm not gonna fail. And if you put that vibe into the world, people see that and they react to it. And I couldn't tell you how many times I underbid myself, and a lady would come up and be like, "Here's an extra $100. That's what the other guy would have charged me. And you did way better of a job." And you got to put those vibes out. I know it sounds like a hippie, but like positive energy breeds positive energy, and
Absolutely.
it's like a magnet. That doesn't make sense either, but
100%.
that's pretty much how I go forward. Is you got to have I don't know what the language is on this, but like my buddy says, you got to have that big dick energy. You got to go out there and you got to let them know who's boss.
Sure.
And
Sure. Absolutely.
You got to just go out there and don't be afraid to mess up.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that, if you were to kind of go back to June or July and start all over again, I know you haven't had a crazy long run with this business, but you've kind of been in the industry for a little while. Looking at your profile there, what would you tell people? What would you do differently, or what would you do the same?
I would definitely have more confidence.
Okay.
I mean, don't be wrong. Like I try to come out swinging with confidence, but I also linked up with a couple contractors. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. Like once you're the boss, you need to be the boss.
Sure.
And,
so can you talk to me a bit about what that
friends was? Oh man, so half the reason I got fired from the other job was I went to my boss, I guess his boss, not really his boss, but a larger company, and I had a friend that wanted their driveway done, and I went over my boss's head. Okay. Well, I started when he laid me off. I started working for that guy who was feeding me jobs because he felt sorry for the situation. Right. Well, I mean, towards the end of the year, I'm working for this guy 5 days a week. I'm spending my money to make him money. Yeah. And don't get yourself in that situation. And also contracts. I cannot reiterate that enough. Like I didn't fill out but maybe 3 contracts last year, and probably 200 jobs I did. And the very last job of the year, I got bamboozled, and I lost like probably $2,000 of material, and I should have made damn near $6,000.
Okay.
It hurt. It was right before Christmas, and it was my mistake. I trusted people. There's one thing that sucks about this world is you cannot trust anybody but yourself.
Sure. Okay.
And so yeah, definitely get on your contract. And there's contracts all over the place. Be honest with people. Don't be afraid to set a bottom line. Be like, I'm not going to do it for any cheaper than this, because you are worth it if you think you are. And that opportunity will come along. You'll find someone that actually appreciates when you have that high dollar price, because they know they're going to get the best.
I love it. I love it.
Definitely. So, yeah, I think that's really only advice I got for anybody is just go out there with positive energy and contracts.
Awesome. Yeah, no, you got to get a contract. You got to get that in writing for sure.
Definitely. And honestly, if I got one more bit of advice, don't ever let people tell you more money, more problems.
Right.
Because less money, same problems. You're always going to have problems. You know, you can't,
Yeah.
if something happens, that same job I got screwed over on, I popped the valve on my tank, my seal coat tank,
Mm-hmm.
and I lost like 50 gallons of sealer all in one spot. And it took every bit of the 4-man crew I had going to prop the tank at a 45-degree angle just to keep it from leaking. And we were all soaked in sealer, and you know, this shit causes cancer and stinks. And I felt so bad for my guys because I got robbed and I wasn't able to pay them till almost like after Christmas. But you know what? They all showed up for this season.
That's awesome.
And that's half the reason in this world climate, you've got to take care of your people because they are the ones that provide a roof over your head. And you know, there's definitely a fine line. You can't be friends with them, but respect them. You know, and they will come and they will fight for you. And I'm very thankful where I'm at today. I definitely would not have gotten here if it wasn't for, you know, obviously my wife for taking the chance with me. It's been a ride.
Yeah.
And my crew, you know, like some of them give people a chance, you know, people will surprise you. And people will come out and you'll be shocked, you know, what they put forth. And that's just by showing a little bit of respect, you know.
I love it.
So.
I love it. Well, I really appreciate you popping on here. I'll probably stop the recording here, but I'll hang around with you for a little bit to riff after.
Yeah, cool,
but I appreciate you being on this, and hopefully it adds some value to people.